Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have not done a video here on the channel in a long time, and I wanted to do a video today because I recently was having a discussion with somebody about how I have been training in my own personal training the last, really several weeks, and if anybody that's following me on Strava, you've probably noticed that in the last, probably well over a month now, that a lot of the days, a lot of my training days, I'm just doing like a really basic loop right around my house. And I mean, a lot of people, I say a lot of people, a couple of people have actually commented, why are you doing that one specific little, loop every day? Isn't that kind of boring? The reason why I'm doing that is because anybody that, follows this channel or follows me on Strava or anything, or just, knows me personally as a cyclist, knows that pretty much, what I always, strive for in my training, what I feel you know, what suits me the best attribute-wise as a cyclist is my ability to climb. So therefore, when I'm training, I pretty much almost exclusively train my ability to climb because I want to maximize my ability to climb. And I'm pretty much at the point in my, cycling career, whatever you want to call it, that I'm pretty much focusing exclusively on climbing, and I just want to become the best climber that I can become. And for me, the easiest, or not the easiest, but the best way to do that is to simply climb hills. And where I live, it's not flat here by any means, but it also is not super mountainous. I'm about an hour, I'm just over an hour away from Whiteface Mountain, up by Lake Placid. But you're talking a 2-hour round trip, and with holding down a full-time job and everything going on here at the house, I don't have time to invest 2 hours of drive time every time I turn around to go ride Whiteface Mountain. I would love to do that more, but because it is, just over an hour away, I can't get down there all that often to ride on Whiteface Mountain. So what I do is I do hill repeats here around my house. And I've got this one little hill that's pretty much literally a quarter, well, it's probably about a half, it's about a quarter mile from my doorstep. And the hill is pretty much exactly 1 mile long, right around there. I've actually mapped it actually drove it on my truck just to see just how long this hill is. It's basically a mile, right on a mile. The average grade, I think, is 6%. And, it's kind of it's a fluctuating climb. It's not 6% solid. It actually has it's got a short, probably 20-second long pitch. It's got about a 20-second long section where the grade is literally 15-16% grade. It's a pretty challenging hill in this one particular spot, but it's a 6% average. So. And I think the total elevation gain on that mile climb is 370 feet, I think is what you gain, right around 370 feet every time you do the lap. And it kind of works out perfect because what I do is I do this mile-long hill, and it takes me, depending on how hard I'm going, anywhere from, my actual fastest time ever, which I got last year when I was trying to go for the KOM on it. And I actually was able to get it by a couple of seconds. But back when I was doing that, my KOM time on that hill is exactly 4 minutes. So so my times really range anywhere from 4 minutes to, I've had it take me as long as 10 minutes, depending if I'm going really easy pace. But anyways, the average, I'd say the average time up the hill is about 6 minutes. It takes about 6 minutes on an average day to go up the hill. And what I do, and basically all I do is it's a little, you do the hill, it's about a mile long. There's probably another 2.5 miles of descending back down around, and it's just like a little The whole loop is basically 15 minutes from starting the hill to getting back around the loop to starting the hill again. Is pretty much right around 15 minutes, give or take. So it kind of works out perfectly. I spend 6 minutes climbing, 6 to 8 minutes climbing, and then I spend, another 7, 8 minutes descending back around to the loop, and I just pretty much repeat that. And I have done as many as 27 repeats in a row of that. I did that actually last week. I was off. I took 3 hours. I took a few hours of vacation time at work. Came home on a nice day, and I wanted to. My goal was I wanted to get 10,000 feet of climbing in, and I actually repeated that hill, that loop, 27 times. I ended up with like 10,300 feet of climbing, something like that. So it was a pretty hard day. Like over 300 TSS, really hard day. But if anybody want, and if you want to look back on my Strava, I'll leave a link for it in the description here of the video. But anyways, if you guys look through my Strava, I have been doing that loop, not every day, but I've been doing that loop a ton. I wouldn't even want to guess how many times I've climbed that hill this year. I bet you I've climbed that hill over 100 times so far this, since May, when we finally started getting some nice weather here in New York. But anyways, the reason why I've been doing that is, like I said, I want to become a good climber, okay? And for me, all of these training programs like Trainer Road and, Zwifting and just, even outside interval work, all that is well and dandy. And it has its place, and it's stuff that I do. But when it comes down to it, if you want to get good at climbing a hill on a bicycle, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to simply climb a hill on a bicycle. So that's what I do, is I basically have been focusing my time a lot this year, more so than prior years. Pretty much every year that I've been cycling, in the this time of year, come summertime, I have done my share of hill repeats. But this year, I'm like taking it to a new level. Like, I'm doing just hill repeat after hill repeat after hill repeat, and I am seeing the benefits of these. And for anybody who doesn't know yet, people that follow me on Strava obviously do, but I started doing this back in May, because I was using this as like my final build up towards a big weekend that I was going to have of racing. I was doing the Whiteface Mountain uphill bike race, which is basically an 8-mile race up Whiteface Mountain up in Wilmington, New York, by Lake Placid. So that was Friday night. I think that was May 31st, whatever it was. So it was Friday night, and then Sunday morning, basically Sunday afternoon, was the New York State Road Race Championships down in Canandaigua, New York, at Bristol Mountain Road Race, another race course which is very hilly, very, a climbing race, and a race that traditionally has suited me very well, where I performed well. So, and I was using this loop, I was using this hill repeat loop that I do as my final build-up towards this big weekend of racing, okay? And so I pretty much spent like the last couple of weeks before, Whiteface and Bristol Mountain, pretty much like almost exclusively doing this hill repeat loop as my last like preparation phase. And long story short, I'm not going to make a drawn out video, but long story short, I actually won the Whiteface Mountain uphill bike race. Led pretty much the whole way. I attacked about a mile in I pretty much attacked the lead group a mile in because the pace was hard, but I felt I could go harder and wanted to stretch things out, made an attack. Long story short, nobody could follow, and I won that race. So I won the Whiteface Mountain hill climb race Friday night, and then Sunday morning, I got in my truck, packed my truck up, and drove 4.5 hours to Canandaigua, New York, to partake in the New York State Road Race Championship race, and as a Category 3 rider. And long story short, guys, I won that race. I won the New York State Championship road race. So I'm the Category 3 New York State champion this year in the road, which is super, super exciting. It was like literally my best all-time. It was without question, my best weekend ever bike racing. Felt really strong both days. And I don't have any doubts that, the literally hundreds of repeats that I have done on that hill in the weeks, preceding and even up through till today have, helped boost my climbing ability. I'm going to do a couple of more videos here later on, as in the next, week or two, talking to you more about this type of training and kind of how I'm specifically targeting my hill repeats on this hill, because I think how you target hill repeats also is a factor. So I'm going to do another video, at least one more video, talking to you more about how I'm actually going through the hill repeats on a day-to-day basis and how I'm changing that up depending on my ride goals for the day. But just kind of wanted to do a little quick video for you guys, just talking to you generally about hill repeats. If your goal is to improve your climbing, in my opinion, the single best way you can do that is to spend time climbing. And, for me, the best way to do that is to simply do hill repeats of my favorite local hill here, which is right by my house. It's a loop I can go out to, get my work done, and get it. I mean, I can get in and get out, so to speak. I can do short workouts, I can do longer workouts, but just in general, hill repeats, in my opinion, is the single best way to improve your climbing. I mean, I just think that in today's world, I almost think people try to get too, almost like too analytical into things and try to get too complicated with things, with all these computer programs and everything, and all these, super detailed training plans. And for me, I like to keep my cycling simple. Anybody that follows me on Strava will see I pretty much keep my cycling pretty simple. I'm self-coached. I don't have a coach. I don't follow any kind of a really plan. Everything for me is dynamic. Everything for me is always shifting. I basically base every ride how I'm feeling on that given day, and I make micro adjustments in ride if needed, if I'm not feeling good or if I'm feeling great and didn't think I was going to, whatever the case may be. I'm always changing things up depending on how I'm feeling. To me, that's the only plan I'm using, and I'm just literally knocking down dozens and dozens and dozens of hill repeats. And like I said, if you want to become a good climber, get out there, just do your hill repeats. A lot of people avoid these. I mean, yeah, I know it can be a little bit monotonous to do the same loop over and over and over again. But guys, if you really want to, boost your climbing training, to me, hill repeats is the way. So just wanted to make this short video for you guys. Anybody has any questions, certainly drop them down below. I'll do my best to answer as always. But just wanted to make this short video talking about this because I did get a couple of, I've been getting some feedback on this topic recently because so many of my Strava rides have pretty much been this. And some people have been kind of commenting and asking why I'm doing this, so often. That's why. I simply want to become the best climber I can be. And for me, hill repeats is the way to do that. So, again, guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I know I said this before, but I'm really hoping to get back to providing some more regular content here on this channel. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. I'm getting a lot of new subscribers still, even though I have been kind of distant the past few months with making videos. Appreciate the new subscribers. Guys, hang in there with me. I'm going to bring back some more videos to the channel. As always, I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys right back here in my next video.